Okay, in this video, we're going to show a couple of things. One is we're going to show you where the bypass is here. We're still operating at 80 psi bypass. That means that when the discharge is completely shut down, this pump is operating against a closed valve. The maximum pressure you're going to see is 80 psi. So what we're going to do here is lower the bypass to your standard 60 psi. The 60 psi is how we normally build your pumps. And the way we do that is there is a set screw here on the bypass with a 1/16 inch Allen wrench. We turn counterclockwise, which brings the little screw out. And as you're turning it counterclockwise, you see the pressure going down to 60 psi. Okay, so now the bypass is set to 60 psi, which is again normally how your pumps are built. We're going to now operate this pump at the same 30 psi to see what the noise is. But you can hear right now that at full bypass, it's making some bypass engagement noise already. As you lower it to 50 and 30, so at the same 30 psi, your noise is quite good, but you notice that as soon as we go to about 35, 40 psi, the bypass noise begins, because that means because at 40 psi you're a lot closer to 60, and this differential is quite small. That is within the range of the bypass opening, so you hear some bypass engagement. And you can see that as the pressure goes up, the noise gets louder until when you get to 60 psi, now you have full bypass noise. So lowering. So let's say your system had 50 psi, 50 psi back pressure. As soon as with a 60 psi bypass setting, when you hit 50 psi or just past 50 psi, you have bypass engagement noise. If we had the bypass set to 80 psi, you would not. You want to set it to 80? So what we're going to close the valve. And we're going to reset the bypass now. We're going to increase it by turning clockwise to 80 psi. Okay, now then 80 psi, we'll go back to 50. You see that the noise has gone down compared to what it was before, until you start operating here about 60, 65. Now you have bypass engagement. So the point is that this type of noise that you're hearing right now is bypass engagement, which can be resolved by increasing the bypass setting of the pump.